So let's talk about it. Will homes ever be affordable again? What's next for the housing market? How much cash and credit do you need to purchase a house? What are the benefits between FHA and VA conventional loans? What are the cash benefits between renting versus buying? What's your credit score actually have to be? I'm going to cover all of that, plus the two most costly mistakes people make when it comes to buying real estate. I'm going to walk you around this house, walk you through this house. It's $245,000, and share those things with you. My name's Wayne Turner. For nearly 30 years, I've done just about everything when it comes to real estate, buying, flipping, selling, you name it. I share that with you so you can have the confidence knowing that it's coming from decades of experience, what I share and what you learn from me. So grab a pen and a piece of paper. You're going to want to write this down. Be sure and click that subscribe button. This is good stuff. So the big question is, what's next for the housing market, and will we ever see affordable homes again? The reality is every market's different, and the facts are only the market is willing to tell. The market will tell us based on the future of people purchasing homes. It's fueled by supply and demand. I know that's a vague answer, but that's the reality of the answer. It's controlled by supply and demand. The faster people, the more people purchasing houses, prices go up. When people don't purchase houses, prices come down. When they adjust the rates up, it slows the market down because people don't want to pay those high payments. Some people can't even afford those high payments. I'm going to walk you through this house. It's $245,000. Some people may call that an affordable home. Some people may say that's too high, that's expensive. It's all relative, and you just have to know your market. But the reality is, or the facts are the facts, only the market knows. No one truly knows what's going to be next for the housing market until it plays itself out. Now, if you want to know what your credit score has to be and you want to self-qualify yourself, lenders take your adjusted gross income. You have to have a 620 or higher credit score. That's the baseline, if you will. If your credit score is below 620, I'll put a quick video link below. You can click on that after you finish watching this one. The reality is you got to have a 620. You got to have 2 years on the job. You got to have showing that your proof of income through paying taxes. Once you've done that, they're going to look at your gross income before they take taxes. Your employer takes out taxes, and they're going to loan you 31% of that. So if you take your gross monthly income less your car payment, a student loan payment, a credit card payment, or whatever that may be, they're going to loan you 31% of your adjusted gross income for your home. Now, how much actual cash you need varies depending on the type of loan. There's FHA, VA, conventional, conforming jumbo, USDA. For this video, FHA, 3.5% is what you need down. A good real estate agent can negotiate the closing cost for you. A VA loan, it's a 100% loan. It's basically backed by the United States government, and they say, here's a 100% loan. Conventional, you're going to need a minimum of 5% down. Now listen, it's important to know that if you don't put 20% down on any property, you're going to have to pay what they call private mortgage insurance, except for VA. When you're a veteran, the actual government guarantees that loan, so you don't have to pay that private mortgage insurance. Now, PMI, private mortgage insurance, is an insurance policy on the house in case you default, and you're the one as the borrower, the buyer, paying the mortgage insurance premium. That's that MIP. Now that can run you $200 to $300 a month, but that's just the cost that you have to pay if you don't put 20% down on a piece of property. But you have to understand, there's also USDA, and USDA is, those are home loans for suburban areas outside of city limits. So if you live in Dallas, Atlanta, Austin, Phoenix, you're going to have to be 30 to 45 minutes minimum on the outskirts. And if you want to get way out in the country, those are good loans too. You don't have to be way out in the boondocks. It's important to know that there's different types of loans for different people depending on your credit. You don't really know until you meet with a lender. And once you meet with the lender and they pull your credit and they verify your income, they're going to give you some suggestions on what's best for you based on your scenario. Now, the good news is it doesn't cost you anything to talk with a lender. You can talk with mortgage lenders, credit unions. That's what I always suggest. Try to Google mortgage lenders, people in your area, credit unions. Go to your credit union. Most of the time, they won't even charge you an application fee or a cost to do that. They'll pull your credit, and they pull what they call a tri-merge credit report, which is Equifax, Experian, and TransUnion. They're going to look at all three scores, and they're going to be able to tell you, okay, your credit's not there, but here's what you can do. And here's what I mean by that. They have a new software type system. It's not really new. It's been out for a couple of years, but it's a simulation system. So you can say, hey, I've got a 580 credit score. These are the monthly debts that I have. They can plug all that into a computer, and the software will say if you pay off this bill, pay this one down 20%, pay this one completely off, this is what your credit score will jump to. So it kind of gives you a roadmap and a game plan and a goal to shoot for, if you will. That's why I tell people it doesn't cost you anything, and there's no cost and no obligation, but you need to talk with a lender. Make sure that lender has that simulation tool for your credit in your scenario, because literally they could pull your credit, and in 30 days you could be looking for a home, and 30 days after that you're moving into your new home. Now, I know home ownership isn't for everybody, but there are some benefits to owning versus renting, and cash benefits, if you will. When you rent, you're paying 100%. That's real important to know. People complain about an interest rate of 6 or 7%, but you know that when you rent, you have no ownership. You're just literally like leasing. You sign a lease, just like a lease on a car. There's never any ownership. The payments keep going up, and you never have any ownership. That's 100%. When you purchase a house, it may be 6 or 7%. The good news is, even that 6 or 7% that you pay is deductible. In other words, you get to write that off your taxes, which puts you in a lower tax bracket, so you pay less in taxes on a yearly basis. Now, a lot of people say, well, Wayne, I like to rent because when I rent, I don't have to worry about fixing anything. Well, you can also purchase a house with a 1-year home warranty. Those run about $900, covers your water heater, central heat and air, all your appliances, major components. The seller can actually pay that for you, plus it's renewable every year. Now, as I walk you through this house, it's a 3-bedroom, 2-bath home, just under 2,000 square feet. It's in Slaughter, Louisiana. It's 45 minutes north of New Orleans, Louisiana. And this home can go FHA, can go VA, can go conventional. It can actually go USDA, which can get you in a home like this for about $800 out of pocket. Now, keep in mind, you got to have a 620 higher credit score. You got to have 2 years on the job. You got to show proof that you've paid your bills and you have that income and it's there to be able to purchase a home like this. But this very much is an affordable home. It's $245,000. I'm going to walk you through it. I'm also going to share with you the 2 most costly mistakes that people make when it comes to buying a piece of real estate. So the first mistake that people make when it comes to buying a house is not getting approved. It doesn't cost you anything to get approved. Most lenders won't even charge you anything because they want to give you money. You have to understand that. Whenever you borrow money, you're doing the banks a favor by letting them loan you money. So when your credit's good and the credit's right, you're doing them a favor. So they don't charge you most of the time, and if they do, go to somewhere else. The bottom line is being approved. You want to be approved for a mortgage. Has nothing to do with a piece of real estate. It has everything to do with your income, your credit, your job, and they'll verify all of that. And once they verify all that, they're going to give you what they call a truth in lending statement. They're going to show you exactly down to the cent what you need to purchase a home based on the mortgage payment that you're comfortable with. Now, the second biggest mistake is not having a home inspected. And please know there's a big difference between an inspection and an appraisal. And when you purchase a house, you have to pay for each of those. You don't have to have the home inspected. Believe it or not, mortgage companies don't even require you to have the home inspected. But you just never want to purchase a home without it being inspected. The difference is the appraisers are going to show up, they're going to measure the house, they're going to determine the value to make sure you're not overpaying. They're looking out for your best interest and the bank's best interest. The home inspections are going to walk around the house, spend 3 to 4 hours, turn on everything, run everything, and they're going to give you a list of things not working to their intended function. Now, the good news is when they give you that list, if you still want to purchase the house, you can tell the seller. Of course, keep in mind you got agents working for you in this process that can help you through this. And they're basically going to negotiate for you. So you can say, listen, I still want to buy the house, but there's a cracked window, there's a leaky faucet, there's a stain on the roof. Explain those things, and will you fix them? If the seller will fix them, and they will, the majority of the time they want you to purchase their property, they'll fix those items but you have to know this, it's not just limited to like cosmetic, like paint a room. Nobody's going to paint a room. If you don't like the paint color, you buy it. If don't buy the house. Now, it's also important to know that if you do a home inspection and you find something that's not working to its intended function and that seller won't fix it, you're not obligated to purchase the property. However, it is different in each state whether or not you get your deposit back. Some states, you get your deposit back if you're not happy with that inspection. Some states, you don't. Now, as I mentioned, I want to walk you through this house because so many people say, Wayne, there's not affordable homes. Well, a home like this at $245,000, if you just did a USDA minimum down payment on this property, even an FHA loan, for example, on this house at $245,000, your mortgage payment's going to run you about $2,100 a month. Now, some of you out there are thinking, well, $2,100 a month, you can't find that in my market. Well, I tell people, sometimes we have to move outside of where we truly want to live. My first house, it was on the outskirts. It really wasn't where I truly wanted to live. However, I made that purchase on that home. I had to commute a little bit. The good news is when I sold the house 5 years later, I made $25,000. So you can see how purchasing houses just on the outskirts a little bit. And listen, this house sits on 3/4 of an acre. It's got a new roof, new central heat and air. It's got all new windows, new flooring, new carpeting, new lighting. And as I show you around, new appliances. I just want you to kind of get a feel for, less than, just under 2,000 square feet, 3-bedroom, 2-bath. You have dining room here, you've got bedroom here, and then there's a full bath. Got a big backyard, live oak trees. It's got a cool room upstairs I'll show you in just a second. And listen, here's what's really neat. When you walk through houses, you want to make sure, like, do they have pantries? I mean, this right here is a walk-in pantry with a light in it. That's pretty cool, right? So you got a walk-in pantry with a light. Also got a big washer and dryer room, utility room. You got coat closets. Here's a full bath right here. So you got a full bath. Now listen, this is something I want to note. As I walk through this house, and you look at any house regardless of where you are, it doesn't matter if you're in Portland, Oregon, Atlanta, Georgia, so many of these houses were built the same and they tend to look the same everywhere you go. So this house, you can see, that's a fiberglass insert. That means that's fiberglass. What's really important to know is, you notice you may not like the off-white or the yellowish looking color. There's companies out there that can resurface that for less than $1,000 and make it look like brand new. That way you don't have to rip that stuff out. So as I walk through this house and any house, I'm going to show you little tricks of the trade that I've done when I've flipped a lot of houses. The new flooring is like this floor. It's a beautiful flooring, but that's what they call LVT, luxury vinyl tile. It's basically flooring that looks like wood. It's vinyl, it's waterproof, it's very durable and extremely hardy. Now, this is a 3-bedroom house. This is a huge room, as you can see. It does have double closets. You got a closet there and you got a closet there. But this is one of those rooms where you could actually put a door right there if you wanted to, put a wall right there, and you can make a bedroom there and a bedroom here. So as I walk through houses, I kind of show you what you can look for. On that other wall was that other open area into that living room. You could easily put a door there, put a wall right there. For literally less than $3,000, you just added a room to a house. Now let's take you upstairs, and this room is pretty cool. So this room up here is another large room. One thing I really like is all the windows. I love all the light and all the windows. There's actually a window right there, pretty cool. And then as you go down the hall here, this is something. There's a closet here and a closet here. So that's pretty awesome that you got literally double walk-in closets. Now this is the main bath, if you will, because it's got a bedroom and a full bath off the bedroom. It's also important to know, see that color? That color you may not like. That can be resurfaced. So if you like the tile, you can pick out maybe a beige color to match the tile. They can resurface that for literally less than $1,000. You get to keep the tub, and it doesn't cost you, literally, you don't have to worry about the stress and the headache of having to remove that tub. Let's take a look outside. Now this house actually has a couple of doors. It's got a side door, a front door, and a back door. That's a few doors. But here's a room also. And if you notice, all the rooms are big, but check this out. There's a full bath off of this room. Closet, of course, full bath. This room has a full bath. It's a big room, right? Utility room. And listen, if it's got a shower, it's a full bath. You can bathe in it. This is considered a full bath. Large utility room in here. Now, what's really nice about that, if you want to do an above ground pool or in-ground pool, check this out. You got a bath right outside your back door. And so you've got a fenced in backyard, big live oak trees, 3-car carport. And I like to notice everything. I think it's so important that because you look at resale, and it may not mean anything to you, but you always have to look at resale. This home not only has a carport, as you can see, carport, but it also has rear yard access, meaning that there's the street, there's the house, and you can come into the backyard from the house. That's a big plus because you got a lot of dudes out there. Give me a thumbs up, like this video, subscribe to the channel. You know what I'm talking about. You got a boat, you got a motor home, you want to park 4-wheelers. When it's easy to get them in the backyard, that is a win-win. And win-win's a good thing. I tell people you win with Wayne. Listen, the whole purpose in these videos is to simplify the process. It just annoys me that some things seem so difficult. They don't have to be. So I'm a big believer in you learn something, you learn it well, you know it, you master it, and then you teach it, you share it, you pass it on. I thank you for watching. Subscribe to the channel. I promise you I'll always strive to make sure you learn something new on every single video.